Time to start on the wall. I already put a few screws in top, so I get my lift out the way and finish screwing it. And my straight edge. Mark my studs. This is when you use your roller lift. I have to cut a hole in sheetrock for this receptacle. So I pull my measurement from this side. I took the measurement from here, other side of the box. Also, pull a measurement from the top of the box and from the bottom of the box. After I put the measurements onto my sheetrock, then I got me a box, put it on there, traced it out. And I take keyhole saw, cut it out. There are two some much easier ways to cut this out. I'm just used to using keyhole saw. Most of the time. Hopefully, the measurement is right. Maybe off a little bit, but that can be fixed. I had to trim it out a little bit more to make it work. Spaces right here is where your scrap pieces come into play. See that screw won't go in now? That's because it's a nail plate right there. That's why I was telling y'all why these nail plates are so important. You won't hit none of your wires. In this case, I also got some plumbing probably going through there. I'm getting ready to start putting the sheetrock on this wall, around the window and all. Before I do, it's like I told you with your scrap pieces, your scrap piece installation. I just took it, took me a screwdriver, and just tucked it in there. Some people, they use a can of foam and put it in there. But I didn't have my can. I didn't have a can of foam, so I just take the installation and do that. This is also where your scrap pieces of sheetrock gonna come into play at around here. When you're hanging your sheetrock, always remember to mark your studs for you put in place. This piece is a bottom piece I'm hanging now. So I put on my lifter, I'm a roller lifter. When you cut your sheetrock, cut it about a ½ inch shorter so you have to use some play, because the gap at the bottom, that's going to be covered up with your base mold. I I come back and put masking tape and cover my receptacles and my switches so I can keep them clean. Another thing to know when you're hanging sheetrock, if you're doing it for the first time, you try to hang your sheetrock and get it on the center of that stud, split the difference. But it don't work like that all the time. Always keep you some square blocks or some 2x4s where you can nail in there, because if that sheetrock hit on the edge of that stud right there, you won't have enough to nail the next one to. So just nail you some blocks so you have something to nail to. That's just for people who have never hung sheetrock before. All the sheetrock has been hung. This is corner bead right here. So I had to come back and put my corner bead around my windows. Put on there like that right there, around all four sides of the windows. Then after that, I can start taping and mudding. Just get you a pair of snips. Then just screw it in. That's what corner bead look like. I didn't tell you from the start, when you get your screws, get a coarse screw. Not a fine screw, but a coarse. They grab better. Kind of like self-tapping. Sometimes you might have to drill through the metal itself and not in the pre-drilled holes, pre-made holes. Also, when you put your screws in here, you want to get it close and tight to the wall. You don't want it to be spongy. You want to get it tight so when you start taping and mudding. See this gap right here? That doesn't matter. You're going to put your corner bead right there. Put it up like that. Take your snips. Same thing at the bottom. Then you got it matched out. So you're going in there like that. This is where you get these coarse screws, so it bites into the metal. If you start to run short, if you have some scrap pieces, just put them in there. Scrap pieces, they work just as good as a whole one.